You are now listening to a 302 Birds podcast experience, proudly powered by Tick Pick, Cut, and El Diablo Burritos of Delaware.
What's up, everybody? What's poppin'? Welcome to another episode of 302 Birds. You guys know how we do. I got all that energy because how can you not have all that energy with Philly sports humming along this week? That's the theme of tonight's episode. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing great.
I've had better days, but I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, Tommy, I heard your little story. That's
it's you heard from Dan, I'm sure. Dan called me. I have had one hell of a day. But it's better now because I'm with friends.
You want to go into a little detail about that? Just like brief 2 minutes.
Boomers are very mean people. They will gaslight you and they will lie to you. Let me put it to you this way. I was told that I was wrong in the amount of hours that I was saying I worked, and then they pulled up the receipts, and I actually worked that long. I was yelled at. I was belittled. I was talked down to. I was screamed at. I was told you better stay on till midnight. Otherwise, you can see yourself out the door. I've been threatened over the last 2 weeks.
Damn.
And then when I confronted them to HR in front of HR, the HR lady and the manager and partner both told me I need a better perspective I need a better perspective on the accounting industry, and that I should listen to the partner and manager because they have so much experience, and that I need to take a few days to clear my perspective.
Damn. Well, that's a rough day. I'm sorry that you had that today, but moving on. Let's lighten the mood a little bit.
Talk about something positive, and let's give Tommy his own time of the day. Exactly. You ready, Tommy?
Time for Phillies talk with Bob Tommy. Ginger Stitch.
And we'd like to thank some Nick's Pizza for their lovely sponsorship with us. Their delicious pizza with us.
The Italian stallion, baby, advertising, and he looks natural at it. How you feeling about Trea Turner looking natural out there in Philadelphia?
Well, just like how my day's turning around, he seems to be turning around this season. It started off very poorly. His season's an analogy for my day. My day started off really poorly, but now it's turning around because I'm with friends. And he needed a standing ovation with his friends, and now his season's turning around.
So about this, I think I was the only one on the podcast that really said, give him some time. He's going to turn around, and look who's right yet again. Because I really think, and that's the Philly fan base. I love the Philly fan base. They give so much shit to their own teammate or their own player, but once they start showing up, they're all like, "Oh my god, he's the best thing since sliced bread." I love that about Philly fan base. But you guys did not give enough time to get used to the team. He's playing really well, standing ovation, whatever, awesome. That play he had last night, great. Trea Turner is playing not out of his mind, but he's playing really well, and I think. Give credit due where it's due. And I think this is a bright side to this story, coming to Philly, brutal fan base, and now look at him. I think the city of Philadelphia loves him.
This is exactly – I'm sorry. I'm just dying because apparently I can't drink water.
Water.
It's water.
Water.
I'm in Delco. It's water.
Matt's in Delaware, so I don't know why I said water.
It's phenomenal. How he's
what do you call it, Fitz? Water or water?
Water.
See,
water.
He said water.
Water.
Water. Water.
Water.
Exactly.
Water.
There's
made the
O's
PC with
there.
you. Yoda.
What's good, gang?
Not much, Fitzy.
How you doing?
Skills?
Man, I'm hanging in there, man. Had some ups and downs. Try to get some kids out the house, man. It's time to take your asses back to school. Let's do it.
How are you feeling? I didn't mean to
What's
do this,
that?
Fitz. I fucked up with the order of the show. So I do want to make sure, because we got you on here as our call-in. We'll go back to the Phils in a second, but we got you on here as our call-in. Well, we got you on the show because, I mean, how can I not get you to say water? But I do want to thank El Diablo for sponsoring our call-in on the show. Our guy Fitz. We'll get right back into the Phillies in a segment, so hang tight. But
What do I want when I'm in the state of Delaware? Of course, El Diablo Burritos. Customer service always is serving your food with a smile on their face, asking how your day is, but their food is phenomenal as well. Their burritos are out of this world, one of the best burritos in town. Their queso is phenomenal. Their burrito bowls are amazing as well. When you're in and around Delaware, stop by your local El Diablo Burritos and tell them that 302 Birds sent you. God bless, go Birds.
how we feeling about the Birds next year, man? It's upcoming. We're talking about the tailgate season. How you feeling?
All right, guys. So, what do you want to talk about today? You want to talk
What do you think
about?
about this Jonathan Taylor shit, man?
Nah, we fine the way we are, man. No, thank you, but no thank
I agree.
you. I don't. Yeah, no thank you, man. No thank you. Does DeMarco Murray ring a bell to you?
Oh, jeez, you can't compare. You can't compare Jonathan Taylor to DeMarco Murray.
No, I
Why?
think that's a
DeMarco
fair
Murray had a beast
comparison.
of the season before he came to us.
Jonathan Taylor.
But then again, he was a Cowboy, so you kind of right on that. You understand? So, you know what I mean? You kind of right on that.
Yeah, I mean, and
But-
also I feel like Jonathan Taylor's carrying. He's been carrying the Colts on his back.
Exactly. But how long the running backs last in the league?
He's still young.
True. So, here's the thing. Dalton, you know how Dalton is. When he hears some hot news, he always like, oh, let's talk about this, okay? We know this isn't happening. We don't need it to happen. Our running back room is set. And, the Red Rocket carried the Colts. You know what I mean? Carson Wentz.
Hold on. Dalton, before you jump in and respond, I'm just going to say it for you. A.J. Brown.
Huh.
That's all I have
Okay,
to say.
so
Say it again.
Why
Though.
was I
Say it
called
again.
that?
Though.
Yeah,
Are you giving me my creds again? Thank you, Tom.
I am.
we don't need another running back. I don't really think
No.
we need any positions to fill in because our fucking defense is getting well. I mean, we look pitiful in the preseason, but that's whatever. But this team, we have a good, core 3 running back. Trey Sermon has some bright sides. That one run he had in preseason. He's probably gonna get cut, which it's fine. But we don't need Jonathan Taylor. I mean, is Jonathan Taylor that dual threat running back? I don't think he is compared to Christian McCaffrey. You know what I mean? There's a flag.
Nope.
Get the fuck out of here. But yeah, I just don't think we need Jonathan
Poor
Taylor.
fly.
I just killed it. So that's all I gotta say. Dalton, you.
No,
you
man.
said
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And what are you going to give up for Jonathan Taylor? They want a number 1. You going to give up a number 1 for Jonathan Taylor? To somebody that you know you're not going to be able to sign next year?
And also, what is our running back room worth at the moment? Like $5 million total?
6.7.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I would do if this trade happened, I would offload DeAndre Swift, obviously, for Jonathan Taylor. Then I was talking about it on the way home with my dad. I think that who the Colts would probably want, and this part I would probably not be okay with, but this is how the NFL works, and it's a business, and I don't know if this would be smart or not. It would probably look like a Devontae Smith for some other kind of receiver, and that I would not do. I'm just throwing around hypotheticals of what I think the Colts would want. I'm not saying I would do that.
I'm going to need you to piss in the cup before you leave, brother. You hear me, Dutch? I'm going to need you to piss in the cup before you leave, bro.
Think about it. If the Colts are out there for Jonathan Taylor, they're not just going to go and give you the number 3 or number 4 running back for a number 10. I'm just throwing around playing devil's advocate. I'm not saying that this is smart. I'm just saying this is what they have to talk about inside the office and think about. Like, is Jonathan Taylor that guy that you say that's the player that gets us over the hump next year and wins the Super Bowl? Personally, I don't think so. I think you need A.J. Brown and Smitty there. I think we're going to have to face that hardship in a couple years of when you got to pick one of them because they're both going to be top 10 receivers and want to get paid like it. But at the end of the day, use Smitty on that last year. I mean, what is Smitty in his 4th year of his contract, though? I mean, they're definitely kicking around and talking about it. Yeah.
I give up Marcus Mariota, a jawbreaker, and a 7th round pick.
We give up Marcus Mariota. I give him Jalen Rager. Let's sign him and then trade him, and we'll bring Carson in for a day and trade him too. Keep them. Here you go.
The only
You might as well pick up Ben Simmons to be the water technician there.
I like how you give him an honorable term, hydration technician.
Guys, what about the rumble in the jungle yesterday, man? Does anybody got film of that rumble?
Oh yeah. Oh,
you got film of the rumble?
Oh
no,
yeah.
I think it's practice, so it's all he said, she said, I believe. Because I don't think that you can film that part of practice. I think it's very strict in the NFL what you can and can't film. So to my understanding, that whole scruff that went on with Kelce and everybody, and we'll get more into it later in the show, but I think that you can't get that on recording because I wanted to see it too. Apparently, the linebacker, though, my dad said, it's okay now. He came out today and he said something like, I didn't know I pissed off OG and he wasn't going to look at me in the eye, I guess, talking about how he got blindsided. But I don't know, man. For Kelce to do something like that, that kind of veteran of a player, you really had to do something wrong because Kelce, he's a very hard guy to piss off. I'll leave it at that.
Yo, Gainwell said we beat their ass, man, and nobody refuted that. Did you see the Gainwell interview after that?
Yeah.
My dad showed me that too. He was all about
refuted that at all.
Yeah, Kenny G was like, yeah, we whooped their ass. I love it. I mean, you know, it had to be something that was so severe because, like Dalton said, Jason Kelce doesn't act like that at all. He's not the type of person to do that, and he apologized for what he did. But it had to have been something that pissed him off so much that he stood in. I mean, that shows you the leadership mentality of Jason Kelce trying to help out his little brother. You know what I mean? Like, we need that on a team because it's like, I got your back. I got your back no matter what. Like, granted, you know, it should have never happened, but, you know, it shows you that the dog in Jason Kelce, that he will help any of his brothers out on the team no matter what.
I love it. One point I like to add, this didn't happen with any Jonathan Gannon team. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
You still got that match lined up?
Yeah.
What's that?
You still got that match lined up?
Man, like, I got one leg and my man's still running from me. And my man's still running from me. But you asked me about the Minnesota game earlier, but you know I'm pulling up to the Arizona one, right?
Yeah, going out there.
You know that, right? It's in Philly. You know I'm showing up to the Arizona, man. You know it. You know it, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. He gonna see me one way or the other. You can only run for so far. I only got one leg at the time, but you can only run for so far. I'm gonna see you soon. But you notice the team, like, they was solid last year, but they wasn't beating up whole teams at practices last year. Now that the Sire's in there, man, I'm telling you, that guy is a little bit pissed off, man. He got the whole team pissed off, man. But Kelce to snap like that means he's pissed for a while, man. He's probably pissed the whole training camp.
Yeah.
But shit, I'm real excited about this shit, man. I'm real excited about this shit. Real excited.
Fitz.
Who's your surprise cut?
Mine was Greg Ward. When they traded him, I think was when they got rid of him. I thought that, like, I get it. We're stacked at wide receiver, but I just thought that it would have been a sentimental thing. They would have kept him. I love Greg Ward, man. I thought when he came back, I was like, oh, maybe he might get a ring with this team and kind of be like one of those players that, like, they aren't the best, but they come in and they fill a role. And, you know, there's love for those guys too. Don't get me wrong.
Huh?
You got some love, Fitz. Swoop.
Yes.
I see the love. I see you, Smooth. My God, man, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. But Dutch, let's get back to the wide receiver. Get Britton Covey the hell off this goddamn team. I was joking when I say he was going to run the kickoff back. He's never going to run anything back. Package him with Mariota, the jawbreaker, in the 7th round, and let's get John Patella down here.
Well, Fitzy, before you,
I think we might have to add a 6-pack or something with that too.
Before you get out of the show,
some Purple Rain in there.
Yeah, hell yeah, let's do that. Before you get out of the show, Fitzy, give me a prediction for this Eagles record this year.
Give me 14-3, and we'll lose one like we did during the season, and the last two will be the last two games when the backups play.
Yep.
You think during the gauntlet we're only going to lose 3 games?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, get that nice when you live that life, brother.
I wish I had that much confidence. That's going to be a hard stretch of games, man.
We are a hard team, man.
As much as I think that we're a better team than most of the teams that will be playing during that gauntlet, just facing them back to back to back to back to back is just going to be crazy.
Yeah.
It's gonna
man,
be-
you know how like things set up during the season, man. Like with the games that you thought it was going to be the toughest games end up being the easiest games, and the games that you think would just be the walkovers, those be the games that we be fighting tooth and nail to. It's just funny how the season works out like that. It doesn't play like how it's listed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We go through a stretch where we play KC, Buffalo, Dallas, and watch, man. Well, Dallas is a joke anyway. I think we'll mud walk them this year. But you know, anything can happen, man. And we almost beat the Chiefs last year. We even better than we were this year. We're a bad field, a bad call away from being Super Bowl champ, man. And that's with the shaky ass defense with JG calling it.
Whoa.
Had to throw my shot.
Not even those initials are allowed to be said in this podcast, there, bud.
My bad. The guy.
The guy.
The guy.
The guy.
We all love you. Appreciate you coming on the show, and we'll see you at a tailgate. Okay.
No doubt, man. I see y'all soon, man.
And
Thursday
good luck
night,
to,
Minnesota. Let's do it.
Yes, sir.
Good luck to moving your daughter into school tomorrow too.
Thanks, bro. Good
night.
Go Birds, baby.
Fitzy's
All right.
the man.
And I can't wait to tailgate with him, too. Like he said, that Purple Rain, Jack, we're going to show you this year because we're bringing you to tailgate. It's just not Purple Rain for the Ravens. Don't get that shit mixed up. Anyway, Hoskins or Nola? This has been an interesting conversation. I mean, I guess the point is, Tom, correct me if I'm wrong, you know, Phillies amateur. I guess we'll definitely only be able to keep one of these guys next year.
Yeah, we'll probably only be able to keep one. And honestly, I'm ready to move on from both. Hoskins, I love the guy. I love everything about him. And it's a hot take. He's a fan favorite. He's a great clubhouse guy. However, I think Harper's shown he can play first base. We have a ton of great young outfielders in like Rojas and Marsh. And you already have Schwarber, who can painfully play left field, and you got Castellanos. I think you have too many outfielders. You're going to want to keep Harper at first and use him as a DH some days and use Bohm the other days. Like, I hate to say that. I really do. It pains me to say that. But I think you move on from Hoskins. And Nola, it's a guaranteed, other than his last start where he finally went 7 innings and 2 runs, looked like vintage Nola. Dude gives up 5 runs a game. Like, I might as well give a young guy a shot, you know. Let a minor leaguer come up and try his hand at it and see if he's the next stud in the league. So, with the great pitching prospects we have and how well Harper can play first and the just like backlog of outfielders we have, I think you get rid of both.
Well, here's the thing, Tommy. I would agree with you, but Rhys Hoskins is consistently a 30 home run guy, and we're missing we're missing that from our lineup. None of our minor league prospects in the outfield are hitting with power. So, I mean, we would be defensively better with, you know, our younger guys in the outfield and keeping Harper at first, but we would also be just as good defensively putting Harper back in the outfield, and we'll be even better offensively with Rhys back in the lineup. I do think that we need to move on from Nola because he is just a liability. I can't even imagine that he's going to have a good spot in the starting rotation in the come playoff time. I mean, I think he's going to be your long inning or your long relief guy in the bullpen.
See, that would make logical sense to me in the playoffs. However,
Rob's not going to do that.
No, he's not going to do that for 2 reasons, and my 2 reasons being Michael Lorenzen and Ranger Suarez. those two are so like they can come out of the bullpen well and they can start well. But Nola, we don't know how he can come out of the bullpen. So I think for those reasons, you still see Nola being like the 3 starter. You'll see Wheeler, Taijuan Walker, then Nola probably will be their starting rotation, and then you have Ranger or Lorenzen coming out of the bullpen every now and again and kind of doing like what Madison Bumgarner did for the Giants, where it's like you start some, you come out of the bullpen for some. You're kind of that situational like workhorse that comes out of the pen or starts for a team.
So let me ask you this, and Matt, Sean, Tommy can hit it. Maybe you just one or two. So this is not about Nola or Hoskins, but out of our batting order, we've shuffled it a lot this season. What do you think our best order is from top to bottom, and why?
Order? Like
Yes.
lineup?
Yeah, lineup.
So recently now that Trea Turner has been turned up, I think he deserves to be in that leadoff spot. I would probably go, Turner. I would switch it up. Turner, Stott, Harper, Schwarber, Castellanos. I mean, I have to look at it on paper, to be honest with you, because It's like on my mind, like with like different things, and you have to like figure out lefty and righties and stuff like that. Like, I mean, I do know off the top of my mind, like some, but I could tell you like lefty, like I can't imagine that in my mind right now. But I mean, there's a lot of good.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I think that it would be best with Stott leading off. I think Turner is finding his groove in the 2 spot. You want to have your high percentage batting averages up top. You want to get those guys on base to start the game off. So I think you go Stott, Turner, maybe throw Castellanos at 3. I like Harper at 4, and then put Schwarber after Harper. I like that, and then go like Alec Boehm, like JT Realmuto this season has pissed me off. He is not a good batter this year, and it's really showing. I mean, I won't even touch on the game today. You have a guy on third, and you swing at a ball 7 feet outside of the strikes. It's just unbelievable. But I think he's batting 7, and then you have Marsh and Rojas. I mean, I think that would be a perfect lineup. And I just feel like, yes, Schwarber, when he does get a hold of a ball and gets a home run to lead off a game, that's fantastic. You're up 1-0. You have the power to be able to do that. But Stott also hits for power. And you're not losing that necessarily with putting Schwarber down farther in the lineup. I mean, you're basically replacing Schwarber with someone who's going to get on base, and that's what you need to start a game off. So I don't know why Rob doesn't move him farther down the line. He's hitting 185. I mean, that's just terrible.
This is my only reasoning, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. Everything you just said, Matt, makes a ton of sense. Statistically, logically, just basic fundamentals of baseball, it all makes sense. What doesn't make sense is the Phillies have like an insane winning percentage when Schwarber leads off compared to literally anyone else in that leadoff spot, whether it be Stott, whether it be Turner. I can't explain why. I don't know why. You're right. Like, you shouldn't have a 185 guy as your leadoff hitter. But they win both. Like, at the end of the day, it comes down to wins and losses. So when I start my lineup, for that reason and that reason alone, I'm starting Schwarber off. It makes no sense. I agree with you. But I'm starting him off just because it means it's the difference between a win and a loss. For some reason. I can't tell you why. And I'm laughing through it because it sounds so ridiculous. But
and it does make sense what Tommy's saying right here. But back to Nola with that too, because I didn't get to speak on Nola. Everybody's like complaining, and he has done atrocious this season. But with that being said, I know he gives up a home run a game, but he pitched pretty good the other day when he was on the mound. Like he only gave up those 2 home runs, but then that was it after that. Like he didn't really do anything else. He walked a couple guys, but um so I mean, yeah, his outings are pretty bad, yeah, but at the same time they're not horrible either. It's just that I don't know if I could trust him in the playoffs because he usually either has his weakness around this time or he starts picking up for playoffs. But
Yeah, I mean, and last thing on Nola, and it all goes to show like we need consistency on the mound. Maybe he has a game or one good game, and then next time he pitches, he doesn't pitch well. So we need, if Nola wants to stay here and like show that he's worth the money that he was asking for, he needs to be more consistent because, I mean, early on in the season, like he let up, I forget what game who was it against, but he let up 5 runs in 1 inning when it was like tied like 1-1. So I just think
pick a game, any game.
Yeah, exactly.
I think was it. Sorry.
No, we're gonna say.
I think that was either against. I believe that was against the Diamondbacks this season.
I think you're right.
5.
Yeah,
it's either them or the Texas Rangers. That's the 2
you're-
teams that come off the top of my mind.
I think it was the Diamondbacks. But he just needs to be more consistent. This team is turning around. I think they have everything that to put it together and like make a run for it. I mean, that was a transition. Tom and Matt can take it. I just want to make a transition.
Yeah, I mean, confidence is huge. And I mean, especially within baseball. I don't know if you guys have ever played baseball, but when you're down in the dumps, you are down in the dumps, man. And I do think, I forget who was saying, I think it was Rob Thompson. He was basically saying that standing ovation to Turner not only helped him, but it helped the club out. I mean, when you think about it, that standing ovation kind of happened towards the beginning of August. Bryce Harper in August has been unbelievable. I think he's hitting like 370 in August. He has like 7 home runs, like 17 RBIs or something. Like he is killing it. His power's back. He's back, boys. So I think that's fantastic. Our young guys are hitting. Trea Turner's hitting. I mean, everyone's hitting. I think the one thing that we need is consistency. Like I've been known for saying, we win a game 10-4, and then the next game, it's very possible we come out and get no hit. And so when they can start stringing together dominant wins, this team's going to be dangerous. And that's what they did last year. They strung them together. And right now they're getting the confidence in the right time. I mean, heating up in August, that's a perfect time to heat up. Let's take this wild card. Let's get the number 1 wild card spot, and let's have home field advantage for the wild card. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, all honesty, this is all I got to say is like, all we really need to worry about is just making it to the wild card. That's all that matters right now. No, not talking about NLCs or whatever, anything like that. It's all getting to the wild card and cementing yourself in a position there. Because, I mean, I think once we cement ourselves in the wild card, I think this team is going to come alive like they did last season, and it's going to be, it's going to be dangerous. And it's just a matter of make sure the bats are hitting consistently, make sure our pitching's consistently, things like that. So it just needs to, let's not look too far ahead. Just wait to the wild card and then, see where we're at with that.
Yeah.
One thing I want to say about the Phillies right now, too, Mercury's in retrograde. And when Mercury's in retrograde, these Philly teams ball out for some reason. I don't know why. We do have a giveaway that we want to do. I want to thank some of our friends over at Philadelphia. If you guys aren't already, go follow them on Instagram. They're an awesome page. They have all kinds of stuff, apparel, coffee mugs, which we're giving away, some tonight, hats, but they're really known for their pins. Like if you're a true Philadelphian, you love Philadelphia merch, you love the Philadelphia mascots, you love the iconic things that this city has to offer, please go follow them on Instagram. I think it's at Philadelphia 215. If you search Philadelphia, I promise you, they will definitely be the one that comes up. I mean, with a name like that, how could you forget them? But we actually have a little bit of a drawing.
We have them linked on our Instagram.
Oh,
beautiful.
These type of pins?
Yeah, there you go, Big Sean.
Look at that. There's an Eagles pin.
Is that a Philadelphia one?
No, that was this was my aunt's. and it was
Okay.
it's very very old. It says that it's from 2002.
Damn.
But anyway, back to Philadelphia. But anyway, back to Philadelphia. I do want to thank them for doing this giveaway. I'm gonna try this on ChatGPT. Basically, what I did was, I hope it didn't go away. I had it make us a list of a bunch of the names on Instagram, and of course, it went away. So I will do that in 2 minutes. But I'll let you guys know when I'm ready for that. Give me 2 seconds. I gotta, of course, reload it. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna basically take all of your guys' names. And then ChatGPT is going to randomly select one. I think that there were like 134 people that entered. So thank you to all who entered. Give us 2 seconds. But right before we get into that, because I want to keep you guys entertained at all times, a little bit more on the Jonathan Taylor. Obviously, we're not about it. But on the flip side, too, talking about the rest of the debt, Miles Jack. Was anybody else feeling like he was kind of like Frank Gore 2.0? I mean, that's a big hole now at linebacker. And this team needs to make a push because I'm not confident in Christian Ellis. Is anyone else?
See, speaking on that, I know Miles Jack. I think that he saw that there was the linebacker core was getting too competitive. Like Zach Cunningham was showing him out, basically. And that's the thing. Why would you want to put yourself through all that, like just physical stuff, just body, and just lose your spot, you know? So I feel like he realized that, you know, it was time for him to hang up the cleats, and that was really it. But I mean, I do like the linebacker core, but I feel like they do need to go out and get another one. I would like to get another person to fill that spot over at the linebacker position.
Yeah. So again, Dalton, his hot takes. We don't need a fucking running back. Okay. We need a linebacker. We've had a whole all offseason until Miles Jack came, and now we don't have it. So we need to find some kind of linebacker, you know, maybe, I don't know, give Christian Ellis a chance and see what he's like in the regular season. And then, you know, if he doesn't perform well, then we can find somebody, you know, mid-season for the trade deadline and pick somebody up. So I mean, did he officially retire?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
What's that?
So
Go, Ash.
No, he said he's done. Basically said, I think, I mean, who knows? It was definitely not the best move, but now I agree. We do not need a new running back. We need a new linebacker. That is now, I would say, our one hole basically in the entire team. So we need to figure something out and fast because opening day is 10 days away, roughly. Something like that. So we need to
real quick before you guys keep going on to this, I did get it figured out. So I just want to get this banged out real quick because I know we have a ton of people in the audience that are waiting for this. So without further ado, of course I click fucking bullshit link. You guys can see this, right?
Nope.
No, we can see
negative.
Give me 2 seconds. Of course. Boom, 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 boom. Basically, what I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to have ChatGPT randomize it on this list. That's all the usernames of everybody that entered. So basically, I'm just going to say randomly select one. And our winner is Connor Gwynn, 29. Oh, my God. How about that? Ashley's very own boyfriend entering all the way from Chicago.
Wow, there. Okay. I don't know if he's here. I'll text
We'll have
him.
to let him know. I mean, that's huge, though. I mean, that's really cool because Philadelphia, so you're aware, this is our biggest Eagles fan probably in Chicago. I mean, he is a Bears fan. He's a little bit salty about Double Doink, but Ashley, his girlfriend, is converting him to the dark side and showing him why it's better to be an Eagles fan. But that's awesome, man, that he won that because I know he's been wanting some Philly merch. So that when he comes out here, he'll be able to represent us. So he's getting hooked up.
No, now he doesn't have an excuse. He's going to be watching a couple of games with us this season. And he's like, do I need to get an Eagles shirt? And I was like, yes. So now he doesn't have an excuse. So, yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. Well, I do want to say thank you to everybody who entered. And one last time, make sure to follow Philadelphia on Instagram. We're trying to partner a lot more with them during this year. Do you guys want to talk anything more about Miles Jack or Jonathan Taylor, or do you guys want to keep running it?
I do want to speak about Jonathan Taylor. Now,
go ahead.
People are saying we don't need a running back, and yes, we don't need a running back. But if you're thinking about it, I feel like they could package up something. Howie could cook something up, go fleece another team. Why not? And he's gonna trade. I feel like they could trade a package of a pick and Kenny Gainwell for Jonathan Taylor, like maybe like a second or third round pick and Kenny Gainwell. I don't see anything else like more than that. And I don't think that they're not going to give him a first rounder. But yeah, if you could get something done that's not very like it's not valuable, like enough to like hurt the team, then go do it, because Jonathan Taylor is a generational running back, and so I feel like he could help out this team. And it's just if you think about it, it's the tandem my bad, with Swift and Taylor. Well, Taylor Swift, of course, the singer. Both of them combined behind the best offensive line. I mean, who's going to stop the offense? I mean, there's really nobody that comes to my mind that could really stop that offense with Jonathan Taylor, the workhorse, and Swift would be like just more of like a RPA kind of guy, like just a run pass option.
I have one thing quick. This situation kind of reminds me with the Birds going after Jay Ajayi in the 2017 season.
Yes.
We didn't need a running back. We were fine offensively. We brought Jay Ajayi in, and it took us to the next level. I think bringing in someone like Jonathan Taylor will make our offense completely unstoppable. And at that point, I'm okay with a hole at linebacker. I really am. Put freaking Nolan Smith back there. I know that they've been doing packages with him as linebacker, and apparently he's been dominating. He's fast. He's strong. He can, clog the holes up. He's smart. Yeah, exactly, Dol. I mean, like, I am not worried about linebacker. I think we're in a league right now where defense does not win championships anymore. If we can outscore the team, we can outscore them when we win. But
we're also in a league where you need a versatile running back, and
Jonathan Taylor he's nasty.
Mm-hmm. When I think of versatile running back, I think of CMC.
Of course, that's like the most versatile running back ever. Like, that's like if you look up the most versatile running back in NFL history, you'd probably have Christian fucking McCaffrey right there. Like, hey Jack, you see me right here? I'm on the 49ers now, bro. But yeah, I see that. But like JT, don't disrespect his pass catching game. I mean, I get it. He's not like like. DeAndre Swift, I think, is one of the better pass-catching running backs in the NFL. We know that already. But with JT, I think that they're just getting such a caliber. Like, he's the guy that when he gets the ball in his hands, anything can happen. And, like, I don't really care if he's not a good receiving running back. Tell Jalen fucking Hurts to put it a little bit less on the ball then, and let's only throw it behind. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care what we got to do to just get the ball in the dude's hands and let him make plays.
And see, not only that, what you were just saying – he might not be the best receiving running back. That's why DeAndre Swift is there, because he could receive and catch the ball.
Well, do you think that they'll be able to keep both? Because I don't think that they would be able to keep both. They would have to give up one of them.
No, they're not going
to. If they did, it would just be dumb in my opinion, because they're going to.
Yeah.
It would be a lot. We were talking about earlier, like the potential package we think that it would take. Well, at least I think it would take for the Colts to actually want to do this, because they're not just going to say, hey, we'll take DeAndre Swift and probably have to pay him next year. And we're going to take like the probably 10th or 9th best running back, and we're going to give you the 3rd or 4th.
Well, see, you also have to think about this too. So I feel like if anybody goes, it's either going to be Gainwell or Penny.
I think that they're not worth it. I don't think that the Colts will say it. Like, I think they will want like somebody like Devontae Smith. They're going to want like a generational player for a generational player. They're not just going to take DeAndre Swift.
They're looking for picks. That's what they're looking for. And then they're just getting the additional player add-on. But Jonathan Taylor is under contract, so the Eagles would be picking up his contract. So that's saving them money. So that's saving them money from paying him. So
what is his contract? Do we know? Isn't he one of the highest paid running backs?
I forget his contract, but the Eagles would have to pick it up and pay him. So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why he's under contract. So that's another reason why I feel like the Eagles could come out on top with this.
Yeah, we'll see how they make this move. It'll definitely be interesting, and there's a lot to follow because you guys know Howie. We're never safe with him.
So
I wanted to make a comment. Just one more. Jonathan Taylor, this is his last year, so we would be getting a rental. There's no way in God's green earth that the Colts would or the Eagles would give up Devontae Smith for a rental.
No.
I mean, I just don't think that any team would even ask for that. That's why I think we would be able to steal Jonathan Taylor. It's a 1-year deal, basically, and we would bring him in to win the Super Bowl. If we don't win the Super Bowl with Jonathan Taylor, then it's like, okay, that's a bust of a season.
So his current contract is $7 million, signing bonus of $3 million. So, yeah.
It's still his rookie contract.
Yeah. So
I think he's about to get paid. Yeah, he's about to get paid. So we don't want to be stuck with that. Like Swift, we're doing the same thing. I mean, we're going to be stuck either paying Swift next year or letting him walk. It's a rental. I just don't see the value in having 2 rentals. But moving on to our next segment, I do want to kick it to Jackson for everybody's favorite part of the show.
Time for everybody's favorite part of the show, 302 Trivia, with your host, Jack Dorden, the mayor of Delaware.
Hey, thank you, Fantasy Football Network, for sponsoring that, short. We will be using you, I think, right, on our our fantasy draft. So stay tuned for that. But tonight's question we have is, since being called the Super Bowl, how many appearances have the Eagles been to the Super Bowl in the first 40 years as Super Bowl? Let me rephrase that. Since being called the Super Bowl, how many appearances have the Eagles made in the first 40 years of it being called a Super Bowl? A3, B2, C4, D1. Again, since being called the Super Bowl, how many appearances have the Eagles made in the first 40 years of the Super Bowl?
Yo, I fucked up.
Yeah,
I struggled with this one, so I'm really hoping that my math was correct, but I don't think it was. So we're gonna see.
Yeah, Tom.
We
Yeah,
are
Matt.
going to see if my math was right.
Matt, you're wrong.
I'm wrong.
Your boy fucked
I think I'm right.
Show the scoreboard, please.
I just brought it down. Sorry.
We were just talking about
putting it back up. The fans actually surprisingly are at 2. Matt's at 2. Here you go, Jack. Take it away.
I don't see it, sir.
Yeah.
Million things going on.
Matt or Jack, the phrasing of that question is just not.
Yeah, I know.
Take it away, Jackson. What's the score?
Fans 2, Matt 2, Tommy 1, Dalt 2, Josh 1, Ash 2, and then Sean 1. So we'll give you the answer at the end of the show.
Beautiful. Thank you. Moving on to our next segment too. Like Jack said, I also want to thank Fantasy Football Network for sponsoring this segment. And I also want to thank TickPick for sponsoring the segment. I had actually one of our fans, shout out to Joseph Havens. This guy's very active in the Facebook group if you don't know him. He actually sent me his fantasy football team and he wanted us to rate it. So if you guys don't know, all year long with Fantasy Football Network, you guys will be able to send us your fantasy football teams. This is going to be a new segment. We're also doing a betting segment with Cut. We'll talk about that a little bit more next week. I'm talking with their founder, Sim, tomorrow. Shout out to Sim. But basically, with Fantasy Football Network, we're going to be giving you guys advice weekly, our tips. And before the season, if you want to send us your team and have us rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, let us know. But tonight, first team of the year, shout out to Joseph Havens. He's got Joe Burrow as his QB1, Goff as his backup. He's got Mixon, Harris, Chase, Deebo Samuel, Cole Kmet, Watson, the wide receiver. Christian Watson, the wide receiver from Green Bay. The Jets defense, Harrison Butker, fun last name to say, as his kicker. Brandon Cooks, who is looking to resurge in Dallas. That new Seattle rookie wide receiver, Kenneth Gainwell. And last but not least, Cordero Patterson.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is his team? Is that a 2-quarterback team?
Yes. So it's a 2-quarterback league. They're all starters. So he's doing something kind of different here. His bench is on the right side, and then all of his starters are on the left. If I'm looking at this for a 2 QB league, I would probably say I'm going to give this team. I would give it an 8.5. I think they have a couple good pieces with Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow. I love the fact that you'll be able to double down with them. Shout out to LSU. You know what it is. But Deebo Samuel's going to get you some nice points too. Cole Kmet, I think, is a solid tight end. And then Christian Watson in your flex could be a real boom or bust depending on Jordan Love. But overall, you got pretty good depth too. So I'm going to have to give you an 8 out of 5. And Joseph, let us know in the comments. How many people in your league? I'm curious. What are you guys thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I think the starters are pretty strong. Reports coming out of Green Bay, Love has been looking really good at quarterback. I think Burrow and Jared Goff, I think Jared Goff is a great fantasy quarterback. I mean, he has been last year with how good that offense was in Detroit. I'm just assuming they're going to get even better. And then having Joe Mixon and Najee Harris. I mean, Najee Harris is a points machine. Joe Mixon, of course, is a points machine. And then he's got some great wide receivers too for some points. So I rate the starters like a 9. I do think that the bench is a little light. Not going to see a lot of production from the bench. I mean, the one thing that could be a sleeper could be Kenny Gainwell. But it really just depends on what happens with Jonathan Taylor and how much playing time Kenny Gainwell gets.
Yeah, the only comment I have is Najee Harris. I have to disagree with you, Matt. He can be a point machine, but some games he just gets stuffed the line. So like super inconsistent, and being like my one friend who's a Steelers fan, like he, does not like Najee Harris. He likes the other running back better. Is his name Warren? TJ Warren or whatever? The guy that was rookie last year, I think, or maybe second year. But I would definitely disagree with Matt on the Najee Harris because he has some stellar games, and then other games he's not as great. So that's all I got to say.
Yeah, go on that graphic. I've never seen a 2 quarterback league. I've never seen that. I mean, I've seen like you have a quarterback on your bench as a backup, or if they're on their bye week, you throw them in. So I've never seen that, which is pretty incredible to see. But yeah, no, he has a strong team. I feel like he's gonna have a productive season. The bench, yeah. I mean, and another thing with Matt, I think that Brandon Cooks is gonna be pretty good. I hate to say it because he's on Dallas, but I feel like he's gonna split time with CeeDee Lamb and turn out to be pretty good. I think he's gonna be better than Michael Gallup. So he's always there as a good flex option because he's not going to obviously start them over. Who's his other receivers? I can't even see. Jamar Chase and who? I can't. Oh, there you go. Deebo Samuel. Yeah, no, he's not going to start over them. So, yeah. So that's what I feel like. But, yeah, no, he has a solid team.
Good stuff. Yeah, want to thank Fantasy Football Network again for sponsoring that segment. We'll keep it moving, keep it running. Should we do our Sixers now and talk about Harden, or do you guys want to save it for the end of the show? What would you guys prefer?
I just want to get the Sixers out of my mouth. I don't want to talk about them. I don't want to.
Relatable.
I don't want to. No, sell the team, please.
The season's already over. Let's get it over with.
I love that you guys are reading on the same sheet of music from me because you see who that is in that graphic right there, Jack? You see who I put on the bottom of the graphic? That's myself right there holding up the sign. I mean, he's making it as hard as possible for all parties involved, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of, yeah. I just think if you really get out of Philly, if you're going to cause any issues and make a big scene about it, we would love for you to stay, but at the same time, what have you done for us? You had a good game in the second round, and then you kind of folded the rest of the series. So, also at the same time, sell a team because obviously this team we have seen the last 5 years, maybe 4 years, a second round out, and we tried different coaches, didn't work out. So it's just upsetting. This is the only team in the Philadelphia franchise that has been they've been super consistent, but for bad, on the bad end of the stick. But it's just same with the Flyers. I mean, the Flyers are screwed for the next 5-6 years. All the teams that really matter right now are the Union, Eagles, and the Phillies. That's all that matters.
But at least the Flyers somewhat sold. They blew that team up this offseason. Danny Briere is actually doing something.
Yeah.
Daryl Morey or Murray, whatever the fuck his name is. I get it wrong every single time. But like he is terrible. I am so disappointed in him. And like I don't know if you guys have saw the new rumors, but Joel Embiid or the Rockets have offered a trade for Joel Embiid, 5 players and 2 draft picks for him. It's a huge trade, and I don't want to do it. As much as I am a Joel Embiid critic, he won MVP for a reason. Now we just need him to stay healthy. I don't think it's time to move on from Embiid, but that's not even what we're talking about. I just think the Sixers suck, man. I'm this season, I'm not looking forward to it at all. And I know I'm going to watch every single game, and I'm going to get my hopes up, and it's going to be great. And then they're going to get to the playoffs. Second round's going to come. Joel Embiid's going to average like 6 points a game, like 4 turnovers. It's just going to suck. And I'm not prepared for it anymore. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore.
Even though they're not good. That's why I'm a Thunders fan. You know what I mean? Love the Thunder. OKC, baby. OKC, don't you know this?
Oh my God, are you really going back to your 5th grade days now?
Oh yeah, baby. OKC.
All right, that's all we got to say about the Sixers. We really don't need to waste our breath on that much
he
more.
Should be, at this point, Jack should just be a Bulls fan because he's Eric Dordan, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, Big Sean backing you up, Jack.
Appreciate it, Sean.
What do you guys think about
although he still won't play basketball for Fitz?
I said I will. Josh is the one that's being the bitch. His knee hurts. I'm sorry. His knee hurts.
Sleeper. Anyway, literally, Josh is a sleeper right now. Preseason sleepers. Who you guys got for him? Like, there's been a couple players that have balled out. I mean, if you guys want to brainstorm for a second, I'll just go ahead first. My biggest preseason standout, obviously, Eli Ricks. That's the only thing that I really remember from this preseason. Am I mistaken? I mean, he had that pick 6 in the Ravens game. He really stepped up, made a play for himself. The Eagles don't necessarily need another cornerback until, unfortunately, this week, if you guys saw, Zach McPherson goes down. So shout out to Eli Ricks. I think that actually he might get some decent time now because he had that game, and I think that he played pretty decent for the rest of the preseason. What do they call him? Pick 6 Ricks, I think is his nickname. Yeah, and the Eagles love cornerbacks with their nicknames, hence Big Play Slay. So I think that he could get some decent time. If not, who's the other cornerback? I think he had a pick in practice. Is it Job? Is his name that I'm thinking of?
Josh Job, yeah.
Yeah. I think that he should get some time too. So both those guys are my preseason sleepers.
He got some time last year, Josh Job. Yeah, when Maddox went down. And he got cooked every single game, and it was not fun to watch. But I think Eli Ricks has had a really good preseason. And I think that he could play, but there was one thing I was watching. There was a video I saw or something, and they were doing a compare. They were kind of like looking at his tape, and he is really good in coverage. But when it goes to man, he is sloppy and he trips over his feet. He can't stick with them. He's good on off coverage when he's pressing, when he's up on the line. You know, he's not very good. So I could see them, taking 5 cornerbacks into the team. You can't forget about Keely Ringo. They're very high on Keely Ringo. And
he hasn't really been performing that well. You know
he hasn't been performing, but you drafted him. He has a lot of promise, and you can't just shoo him off because he's young and he's going to keep learning. I mean, he may be a practice squad player to start out the year, but Eli Ricks he deserves a spot on the team. I think the first 2 weeks, he's been one of the highest rated defensive players in the NFL, which is awesome. You love to see that. But we also have to remember he's playing against second, third string people. He's not playing against, Jamar Chase.
Yeah. Wow. We're on the same level.
Yeah, dude. I know. We got that. But
I want you guys to try to say the same word on 3. Let's see how cued in you guys are. Like, just randomly. 1, 2, 3.
Jalen Hurts.
Oh. Okay, we're gonna try this every episode now. Okay, wait, who said Apple and who said Jalen Hurts?
I said Jalen Hurts.
All right, just remember that for next episode. I'm gonna hit you guys randomly with that.
Well, no, I like Eli Ricks a lot. I mean, he's playing really good defense, but my biggest gripe with him, and they've talked about this during the preseason, the announcers, is he needs to stop being so mouthy. He could have, if this was like a real life game, I mean, not in real life, but like in regular season, he would have gotten 3 penalties for taunting. Like, he needs to. I know he's a rookie. I know he's trying to make his make his name big or whatever. But dude, like, you gotta relax. You hit great play. Do that on the sideline. Like, great pick six. Do it on the sideline. Do not point at a receiver. And he did it 3 times that same game. Didn't get called. But if that was regular season, he would have got called. But hot take. If we keep a quarterback, I'm pretty high on Trevor McKee. I'm liking what I see from him.
Ooh,
kind of like
good transition to the next topic. Excellent.
Perfect.
Who's your? I mean, Trevor McKee, or like you're completely out on Mariota? Not even if we get the Netflix special and we get like an inside scoop on the Eagles, because that's kind of like where I'm at.
I mean, have you seen him? God, awful! Holy shit!
Terrible.
It's like laughable.
It's bad.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, I don't know, because I'm kind of torn. Because I think like Marcus Mariota, he had that start, at the wherever he played, and I think he's a good body to have in the locker room, kind of that one-on-one with the QBs. But at the same time, like, have you seen what he's been doing these preseason games? He is god awful. Like, what is he doing? Can't get a pass off. Like, tries to rush when he doesn't need to. Like, I don't know. Trevor McKee also, he's not a running gun quarterback. He's more of a pocket passer. But he kind of reminded me a little bit of Gardner Minshew-esque. Number 10 too. So hey, I'm liking Trevor McKee. Like what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
How about Big Dick Nick on the block? You don't want to bring him back? Like, that's where I'm at. Like, bring him back. Fuck it. He knows this team. I mean, he hasn't played with Sirianni, but he knows a lot of the players on this team. He knows pretty much everybody on that offensive line besides Landon Dickerson and Mulata starter-wise.
You're asking for a media circus, Dutch. That's the problem.
I want a media circus. I mean, Nick Foles, though, if you bring him in.
I want a Super Bowl.
I do too. That's why I would bring in Nick Foles. I mean, do you really think that Marcus Mariota or Tanner McKee, if in a QB2 position, we'll put it, would give you a better chance to win a Super Bowl than Nick Foles? Like, Nick Foles just being in the stadium gives you like a +2 Madden advantage in the game. Like, I don't know how to compare that to real life statistics, but like, there's something to be said for when you come back to a city and you have that juice flowing in your system. I mean, I really think that like Nick Foles would be a better option than both these two guys.
Here's my take.
There's Dalton's hot takes.
That's another one. I'm with it.
Jesus.
Well,
sorry,
here's the thing. Nick Foles, yes, but he literally died on the field last year. Like, do we not remember? Do we not remember like Thibodeau just like killing him? So I mean, it's I think he's done. I think Nick Foles is done. I think bringing him back would be a grave mistake for our team. But the one player I would like back, and you guys are gonna give me flack, I think Carson Wentz in a guaranteed backup. No, hold on. You got to hear me out here. I think if you bring him back and you are straight with him being like, you are the backup, there's no chance that you're the starter. I think he is a better player than Marcus Mariota. And I think we should do it because I have a Carson Wentz jersey.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
Waste.
Have you ever seen Salucci not want Carson? Look at it. Why? Why not?
He's just become like a toxic guy in the locker room. He thinks he's all that in a bag of chips.
So long ago. That was so long ago.
That was last year.
No.
I think he's been humbled. I think there's something to be said when you're kicked off of every stinking NFL team that you've been put on and nobody wants you. I think there is something to be said for that. And I would not be opposed to him coming back. I think he is better than Mariota. Mariota, I know he is not working with the number one receivers, but we are throwing to nowhere, and it is literally painful to watch him play right now. And we need something different.
And it's not even like you can blame the wide receivers or the offensive line because we have other quarterbacks that come in and look 1,000 times better than him.
Exactly.
And like, I really hope Sirianni isn't going to pull a Rob Thompson and be like, well, you just got to give him a chance. You got to, let him get comfortable, because that's not going to fly. It's not the MLB season where we have 162 games. We have 17 games to play. Yeah. And if Mariota comes in and he is actual dog shit, then that's a game lost. And that's a game that could influence our entire season. And so I really hope Sirianni's not going to be like, he's going to be our number 2 no matter what.
So what I'm hearing is Matt wants to bring Ben Simmons back to Philly if we're going to bring Carson Wentz.
No,
honestly, I would rather have Ben Simmons than James Harden. I would rather have Ben Simmons.
Actually, that's not a horrible take right now. I mean, it's been getting to that level.
Shit.
Carson Wentz, though, man, that's not a bad take. I mean, I know I'm the king of hot takes, but I don't know. I'm kind of with that now. You kind of persuaded me. Like, I think it's got to be somebody that wants to play in this city is the main thing. Like, that's my main concern as a Philly fan, because look, you guys know what it's like when a QB comes here and is intimidated by the fan base. They shit the bed immediately. We watched it for years. So my main thing is I just want a guy that comes in here and is comfortable. Like Jalen Hurts just came in and took this team from Carson Wentz. So maybe if you guys do it like Matt's saying, you're clear about it on the front end. You're like, hey, you're the backup. This is your job. You're riding bench. You're a bitch. Be good about it. Maybe Carson would be cool about it, but like I'm more worried about the toxicity in the locker room because those two guys have played together. There's going to be a lot of jealousy, I think, of Carson over Jalen. Does anybody disagree with that? Like, I mean, come on. What do you think, Sean?
Only thing I disagree is why is Tommy sleeping right now? Tommy's a little tired.
Tommy's had a day. You missed the beginning of the podcast.
He's
excused. It's all good. Don't worry. He's fine.
But anyways, speaking of that, yes, I did change my hat like twice because I didn't know what to wear. I wouldn't mind Carson Wentz coming back, but I don't think it would end well. It just started a bunch of controversy. I wouldn't mind seeing Nick Foles back, though. He wants to play in the city, and everybody would love it because he brought us a Super Bowl. So, and he's a reliable backup. So, I know that he did get injured last year and almost ended his life, but I feel like if you need him, he's always there. Yeah, so I don't know.
I say bring this is the last thing. I say bring Nick Foles back for the Christmas Day game, like St. Nick, and just cut him right
Jack,
away.
are you giving us your answer from down a hallway?
Yeah, get a little closer to your microphone. Are you scared of her?
I said we should bring Nick Foles back for the Christmas Day game, so it's like St. Nick. You know what I mean? Win that game.
Oh, so now we're on board with Dalton's hot takes because Taylor Swift, Nick Foles on Christmas, St. Nick's because Dalton will sell T-shirts. That's why.
Nope. I'm not agreeing with you at all because those are stupid takes.
Bitch. Anyway, I wanted to talk about this. Jack and I were at work today when this came up. It happened yesterday, but I don't think that we thought that it was a real thing until now. Trayvon Diggs. What are you doing, bro? I mean, what are you doing on Twitter right now, or X, or whatever you want to call it? You're liking some questionable tweets. I mean, the tweet literally said, like it if you would suck it. Hey, nothing against your beliefs. No disrespect towards that. My main thing is, did bro not know that likes were public on Twitter? Like, did he not know that, look, when you're famous, people are looking at the things you like, the things you do on a close, detailed basis. So you're literally... Probably, I would say, if Dallas fans want to argue, top 5 corner in the NFL. Definitely not a top 5 corner in the NFL. Probably top 10, no doubt. Probably top 7.
Top 15. He gets
all right, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Dallas fans, you guys can come for Jack in the comments, not me, but please come for him in the comments. We love it. But yeah, dude, what are you doing liking this tweet? I mean, you're a professional NFL player. You got to know better. That's all I got to say.
I mean, he thought it was his X subscription to porn, so that's why it had X on it. That's probably why he liked it.
You got confused.
Exactly. That's all I got to say.
I mean, as a Cowboy, they always get confused.
I mean, have you seen it? Dalton, remember the shit I sent you the other day? It was what Cowboys fans do at tailgates, and it was literally people just dancing in dresses that were guys. So
yeah, Cowboys fans, man, like I said, nothing against your beliefs. Just I don't know what Trayvon Diggs, man, is
I
saying.
will
Liking
stand by
it
this.
like on Twitter. This is gonna give him some clapback for a while. What are you saying, Sean?
I will stand by this until something happens, but I will stand by this, but the Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl is against the Eagles every season. Every season, that's their Super Bowl. They get all hype because they beat the Eagles, but that is their Super Bowl because I am not worried about them winning in the wild card round and then losing it. So yeah, I don't know. Trayvon Diggs, it might have been on accident, but I mean, for what I know, I mean he's straight because he has a kid, but that could mean he could have changed. We never know.
never know in this crazy world. Moving on.
Moving on to before we get into our final topic of the night, though, I do want to clean up with the trivia topic. So without further ado, I will kick it over to Jackson's corner so we can.
Time for everybody's favorite part of the show, 302 Trivia, with your host, Jack Dalton, the mayor of Delaware.
Thank you, Fantasy Football Network, for that sponsorship. The question we had tonight, it was kind of like misconstrued when I typed it in. But since being called the Super Bowl, how many appearances have the Eagles made in the first 40 years of the Super Bowl? So the first 40 years when it was called a Super Bowl, how many appearances have the Eagles made?
Ooh, this is a stumper. Sorry.
A3, B2, C4, D1. And these years are 1967 to 2007. So that's the years, the first 40 years of it. The correct answer is B2. So,
Go.
With the team 302 Birds, Sean got it correct. Tom got it correct. Dalton got it wrong.
Fuck.
Ashley got it correct. And Matt Fredkin got it wrong.
Fuck.
Got it absolutely wrong. And then we had one answer in the comments, and I think it was Tommy's favorite person, JJ Seggs. And he said 3, and that's incorrect.
See, I automatically just thought at the top of my brain. They played against the Raiders and they played against the Patriots. They both lost. That's all. And then the other Super Bowl was when they won. And then
but that wasn't within 40 years, though, was the thing. That was my kicker. I thought it was within the first.
Yeah, because and the way that I went along with that is because I realized that was Super Bowl 52. So 52 and then 40. So that's 12 years after 40.
That's a good way to think about it, Sean. That's a great way to think about it.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
I wish I would have done that. Motherfucker. Yeah, I'm with Matt. Fuck. But yeah, so we will update the score though, but that really evens things out a lot. And I think that the fans and Ash might be in the lead now, if I'm not mistaken, but we'll have that update for you guys next week. Good question, Jack. I like those stumpers.
I'd like to drug test Ashley.
For getting every single question right.
But for PEDs?
I mean, she is the repeating champion.
Yeah, and she also thought she got it wrong before she left, so she didn't really know.
Wait, what was the answer, Jack? 2?
Yeah, 2. Were you not paying attention when I said it?
No, I was gone. I was getting my laundry. Adulting.
Adulting things. Yeah, got that. I hate it. I hate doing laundry. It's the worst.
It fucking sucks. What do you hate more, just real quick? Folding laundry or doing wash? Like, obviously, folding is the worst part.
Folding fucking sucks.
No.
I had somebody the other day that told me that they didn't mind folding and they hated washing and drying. I'm like,
bro,
I can't wash it and dry it or something?
Put it in the fucking machine and click start.
No, here's the thing.
Easy.
I love folding clothes.
What the fuck, Jack?
The fuck?
Because it makes it if I'm stressed out, it's like a nice little stress reliever. The thing I hate bringing it to the washer is because my washer's downstairs in the basement, and I just don't want to go down in the basement. I'm too lazy.
Are you scared of the dark?
No, it's just I rather I just let it sit in my room and not do it.
You
So
lazy fuck.
See,
Yo, you
I
got
like-
any stress right now? I'm just asking for a friend. Just let me know.
if you drive it here, yeah, I got you.
Don't drive lots of stress.
I would definitely drive it like 45
So,
minutes away to you, Jack, because that's
moving
how much
on,
I
we're
can't
kind of-
stand it.
We're kind of like brothers on this podcast, but you know, it happened, you know, Tuesday, you know, not so brotherly love. Like Fitz had hit on it before. You know, this is not in Jason Kelce's character at all, but I love it. You know, like Dalton said earlier, something had to piss him off so much that he did this. So it's like I said earlier, it shows you how much he has each other's back on the team, and it shows you that Jason Kelce is an absolute alpha. I'm not sure how he hit him or whatever, but like he's an alpha. He apologized for it, which I thought was a little soft. But you know, I love the leadership and you know protecting his pack. Makes me so happy.
What I fucking love about this is reports say that he ran 50 yards across the field to go knock this guy on the ground.
I love it.
How much speed do you think he built? Like, he had to get fucking decked. They said he knocked him out of
Dude, the fucking power behind that hit must have been huge.
fucking bear on wheels. Jason Kelce pissed off. One of the nicest guys ever running at you. The one thing I did want to say, too, this had to be a calculated decision of some sort. I mean, like, let dumbass Barnett go out there. Barnett, I'll break his leg. Go ahead. We don't fucking need you. Like, get the fuck out of here. But, like, Jason Kelce is a starter. Like, him doing things like this, him, like, getting involved like this is not in his character. So he knew, like, in this moment, when he was running all 50 of those yards, whatever it took, like, the 40-yard dash, I don't know, Kelce's like 5.2, maybe 5. He's one of the quicker centers. Maybe he's 4.9, 4.8. Point is, this man coming full speed at you for 4 or 5 seconds or in between, maybe like 5.5, but give my man credit, is thinking about how pissed off he is at you. But not only that, like, how is this going to repercussion? Like, you do think about that before you run up and hit somebody. But I know this had to be something pretty fucking bad for the nicest guy. Like, there have been so many things over the years in training camp of guys being assholes, and never once have you ever heard a peep of Jason Kelce getting involved. So, like, that was kind of why I thought that this one spoke volumes to me.
I blame it on State Farm Stadium. After that loss to the Super Bowl, that anger was built up. He's like, you know what? I'm going to become that motherfucker that wrecks somebody. I'm going to do it in preseason because I don't want to get ejected from the game, but I'm going to do it right now. And he did it.
Hear me out. What if this is the New Heights podcast way of getting more people to listen? Earlier in the preseason, Travis Kelce was seen hitting one of his teammates in the head, like punching him. Now we have Jason Kelce going out there starting a brawl that canceled practice early. I mean, it makes me kind of want to listen. I want to know what happened. And you know they're going to talk about it. So what if this is like a way of they're talking like behind the scenes saying, all right, let's get in fights because people want to listen to us.
You know,
are they on a break right now before the season? But that's actually a great point. I mean, still, it's going to surge up their episodes. I mean, you might have just given me my newest episode of NFL conspiracy theories, but I mean, that's actually a really, really good one because like it is kind of similar timing.
You got to show the video of me running over Tommy. So that's like kind of like what happened here. You know, maybe get more views that way.
You ran over Tommy?
Oh my God, yeah.
I don't have it on here, but Jack will find it and I'll make it a button on here. But yeah, back on the beach a couple years back, it kind of looked like
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
something like that. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Well,
I think I have it. I'll send it to you, Matt.
Oh, perfect.
What did you think about the whole Kelce fight, Big Sean?
I loved it. I mean, he's standing up for his teammate. But yeah, now he's standing up for his teammate, and I like it because it shows that they're going to be aggressive this season, and they're not going to take nobody's bullshit this season. So, and there was also a quote by Jalen Hurts himself, saying that he's like, the city's hungry, the fans are hungry, but nobody's as hungry as me. So enjoy the ride. That's what he said, and I feel like it's going to be his revenge season. He's just more hungry to get to that spot and go finish it off. So just be aware. Like, I mean, they might not like everybody said, oh yeah, like they're ranked fifth, and like I mean they're the best team in the NFC. We know this. We know this. Um, and now that there's more stuff about the 49ers coming out that they're going to trade Trey Lance, and they named Sam Darnold the QB2. So, and Brock Purdy's coming off of Tommy John surgery. So, if he gets hurt throughout any portion of the season, they're kind of screwed.
Also, can I just say, this is off topic, but thank you. I was a Commanders fan for this week because they beat the Ravens in the preseason game. And like Dalton said, all the Ravens fans think it's like the Super Bowl every game preseason. So they silenced that. I just wanted to say that. Appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, like Sean said, I think this shows the grit of the offensive line, the grit of Jason Kelce, the leader of this team, showing that they're not going to take no for an answer. They're not going to be pushed around this season, and they're going to fuck everyone up who crosses the line. That's what happens. That's just what's going to happen this season.
I got a question before we move into the score predictions for tomorrow night. What do you guys like these joint practices, or would you rather be like a team that doesn't do any of the joint practices? I was having a discussion with.
I like them. I think it's good. I think it gets you ready for the season and stuff like this. You going up against another, like, look at the Cowboys. The Cowboys players fucking fight against each other, dumbasses. The Eagles, at least we're fighting against other teams, like as a whole. So I think like this actually brings the team closer together in a way. So I'm all about these joint practices, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, and like granted, when I played football in high school, like we would have the other team's playbook and we run their plays. But I think when you see the other team across the line running their plays, it gets you a better understanding of how they're going to run their offense. So I don't mind it at all. I actually enjoy it. And do they do it in the regular season too, or just preseason?
No, it's just the preseason.
Yeah, it's
just preseason. Yeah.
No, I like it a lot. I mean, I think it just kind of, helps out each team. Kind of see the schemes, offense and defensive schemes, what they do, and then they can apply it. But it's like, okay, so you see what happens in these practices, the other team, the plays they run. Why can't you stop it when it's preseason, like the game time? You know what I mean? So like, I don't think it's that much of an edge to have this because they still can't get stopped. But I think it's definitely something that I don't mind at all.
No, and it's just the fact on the head just joint practices. Like you're going against different players. Like so for the first couple of weeks, when OTAs start and then practices start, you're used to just going up against each other. But then those joint practices gets you ready for the season, like Dalton said, and also it just gives them more of a refresher against different competitions. So it just it helps them out in the long run. There's always going to be fights and scuffles like that because it's two teams going against each other. But I love the joint practices. And when you go to the joint practices, like if you're a season ticket holder, you could go to the NovaCare Complex, watch a joint practice, and you get to see different teams play without being at a game, really. So. And you get to meet the different players, so it's good for all fans too, because hey, if you're not an Eagles fan and you're in the area, and say you're like a Browns fan like recently, or you're a Ravens fan, like whatever team, you get to see your team come play and practice, and then go to the preseason game. So it's there's multiple benefits to the whole thing about it, but yeah, I love it.
Nice.
Score predictions. I'll go first. I'm thinking it's going to be 21 to 24 Eagles.
Yeah, I'm going 21-17. None of these games this preseason, I've guessed high every single game, and I've been so wrong. So I'm going to go low this time, 21-17. I think I got the Eagles winning.
Big Sean, what do you got?
Watch it, Matt. They're going to just blow them out of the water this time because you wanted to go low. So, in your favor, I will go high. So, I'll say 31-14 Birds.
All right. And last but not least, I'm feeling 25-20. I don't know why. Give me the Eagles at home. I think that it will be interesting to see Jalen Hurts play a little bit. Hopefully he'll play at least like a drive.
I think he'll play a series. Yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, I mean, there's a couple players that I don't think should go out there at all. Like Jason Kelce, Lane Johnson. I don't really see any reason why they should be out there. I get it, the new offensive coordinator, but I mean, those guys have been around long enough. But other than that, guys, I mean, I want to thank everybody for popping by tonight. It was a pretty long show tonight, and I appreciate you guys all for hanging out with us. Hour and 21 minutes. That might be a new record. But I also want to thank Philadelphia for being a huge sponsor of tonight's episode and giving away that awesome stuff to our favorite Chicagonian Eagles fan so he can rep us all year long. And, I mean, that's all I got. Make sure to follow us on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, all that stuff. I don't got to repeat myself, but I will kick it to Jackson to do what he does.
Wait. Just wait. Jack, I think you have to ask Josh something.
Oh, for sure. I think you do. Not Jack. Hey, Josh. I'm thinking you're asleep right now. But it's a motherfucking outro, not an intro. Hit that motherfucking outro.
Yeah, Dutch.
Dalton's a loser.
Go Birds.
I need to get in this outro.
Nice.